Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining me today for this Exhibitor Spotlight webinar series by AACR. I'm Rachna Goyal. I work as a manager for preclinical genomic services at Reprocell, and I'll be talking to you today about how Reprocell is enabling translational research through access to high-quality biospecimens and associated data. Reprocell is a global organization with offices in Japan, USA, Europe, and India. We are a publicly listed company and we've been trading on JASDAQ since 2013. I'd like to begin with introducing the 5 brands that are under the umbrella of Reprocell, and all of them individually contribute to advancing translational research. Reprocell is a leading provider of stem cell solution, differentiation media, and reagents. And we've worked with Professor Yamanaka when he was creating his first iPSC line. So we've been in this field since its inception. Stemgent is another brand that has been acquired by Reprocell and is also a leader in both research grade as well as clinical grade iPSC products and services using RNA reprogramming technology. We also offer gene editing services through Stemgent. Alvitex is an award-winning three-dimensional tissue culturing scaffold that can be used for culturing human tissues in 3 dimension. Biopta is another brand that is a pioneer in using human fresh tissues in predictive assays. There are mechanism of action assays, toxicity assays, etc., where they are using uh, not primary cells, but fresh human tissues directly. So those are the 4 brands, but what we'll be focusing our interest today on is on Bioserv. That's one of the largest commercial biorepository and will be your go-to brand at Reprocell when you're trying to access human tissues and associated data. So to translate basic discoveries to clinical practice, there needs to be a lot of information exchange between bench and bedside. Biospecimens have a lot of information stored in them about the disease that are being currently explored or extracted by various means. For example, genomics, microbiomics, epigenomics, metabolomics, etc. Uh, and this information can then be used for determination of new diagnostics, prognostic markers, or molecular signatures for patient stratification, and so on. Well, let's look at some examples more closely. So if you're looking at identifying a new drug target, you might need hundreds of FFPE blocks of frozen tissues from that disease indication. You'd probably use an IHC method or even genomics methods, but let's say IHC for this current example. And then you identify how many or what percentage population expresses that particular target. And if it's high enough and druggable, then that targets become a new druggable target. Also, if the percentage is, only it's expressed in only a certain population, this can also be a companion diagnostic test where you can use to identify the population in which this particular drug would essentially work. And there can be many more examples. If you're looking at non-invasive liquid biopsies, you'd probably require matched biopsies with biofluids and establish that the um, detection of that particular disease is possible by non-invasive methods as well. So many examples where you would know that access to patient samples or biospecimens can actually drive the development of that method or identification of that new target. And unfortunately, that is still a bottleneck in translational research. Biospecimen access is not easy. Um, Oftentimes, you cannot get the samples that you're looking for, that disease indication is not available, or the sample quality is compromised. You have inadequate data associated with the samples, or if you're looking for matched samples, oftentimes those are not available. Uh, so therefore, there is a lot of time and cost which is associated with the acquisition of these samples. And of course, one of the major hurdles for access to biospecimen remains the regulatory compliance. It's one of the very, very crucial aspect of accessing biospecimen to ensure that these samples have been collected in accordance with the local regulatory guidelines. So all of these bottleneck kind of delays your precision medicine or your translation research projects. And that's where I would say Reprocell can factor in. Um, so our biorepository um, is is one of the world's largest commercial biorepository. We have over 600,000 unique patient subject samples already stored in our inventory. These samples can range from FFPE to frozen tissues to DNA, RNA, serum, plasma, blood samples, etc. And they span over various disease indications as well, so that whatever disease indication you're looking for, you would have possibly the samples banked with us. Now, having said that, of course, not everything is available in the bank. Even our 600,000 samples are inadequate, and oftentimes our clients are looking for samples that are not available in our inventory. So we also have a very, very wide network of partners that we work with, who might have either banked samples or can also offer custom collections. So we have IRB approved sites. They can work with our clients to um, understand their specific requirement, create a customer specific case report form to collect all the data that is required by you, and then set up either healthy or diseased specific sample type that you're looking for, collect them in accordance with your study guidelines. Uh, about the diversity of the samples that we can cater to. Our bank is a very large bank with a lot of disease indications already banked. So we have oncology, which is, many tumor types like brain, prostate, renal, leukemia, lung, lymphoma, etc. For oncology, we have matched tissue sets available where we will have frozen tissue, we'll have FFPE blocks, we'll have a match adjacent to tumor, which is normal tissue. We have blood, serum, DNA, RNA, etc. So many matched sample types would be available, which can be in accordance with your specific requirement for match sets. For other diseases like metabolic disorders, immunological disorders, and other miscellaneous diseases, we'll mostly have DNA, RNA, serum plasma, but sometimes we might have some specific tissues there as well. For diabetes, our bank is very large. We have over 25,000 samples, cardiovascular, over 35,000 samples from individual disease subjects, and other diseases like arthritis, MS, psoriasis, RA, asthma, renal diseases, dementia, Alzheimer's. So a very wide variety of tissue samples are available. If you're looking for samples from a specific ethnicity, that's something that we can take care of as well. We have a very large partner network, over 700 partners worldwide. These institutions, they have banked samples as well as they can cater to custom collection requests. And sites are in Australia, Asia, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Africa, and over 400 sites in North America. So if you're looking for a specific ethnicity sample collection, there's a likelihood we might have them banked, or we can certainly try and collect them based on your requirements. Another important factor for these samples is associated data. Quoting from the AACR's Cancer Disparity Progress Report 2020, there are a lot of factors that contribute to the uniqueness of each person's cancer. Factors like their age, gender, family history, geography, socioeconomic status, race, immune profile, and comorbidities. Everything actually determines the uniqueness of the each person's cancer, and therefore is an important criteria in precision medicine um, to determine the best treatment strategy. And that's where our samples are very lucrative. We have extensive data collected with each sample. There are over 200 donor information fields in our CRF, starting from demographic, where you're collecting information about age, weight, height, but also going back to 3 generations of ethnic heritage here. Clinical data, where you have all the pathology reports associated with that disease, any adverse events, any medical history again from the family, and comorbidities if there are any other diseases present at the time of sample collection. So all of that data is available, and also health and behavior data like use of tobacco, alcohol, etc. Some of them might be very important for specific diseases like, for NSCLC's use of tobacco, etc. So all of that information is also captured in our CRF. Some of our partner sites have gene alteration information also, which is, particularly in oncology, gene alteration mutation information is a very crucial data to have. So that information is also captured. All our samples are collected under IRB approved protocols. Consent forms are available for your review. When we onboard our partners, we always inspect their ethic approvals and ICF templates so that you can be sure that these samples have been collected ethically. All samples have been collected in strict accordance with SOPs. Samples are stored appropriately at the specified temperatures. Temperature monitoring is performed throughout their storage. And the samples have been aliquoted in small aliquots so that there won't be any freeze thaw, assuring the sample quality is good for use. We're also adapting to the current requirements. We have a large bank of COVID-19 samples available now, serum plasma, whole blood, nasal swabs. We have samples from recovered individuals. We have samples from vaccinated individuals, and also negative control samples from healthy subjects collected prior to 2019. So overall, all the biospecimen access bottlenecks that we discussed earlier um, uh, through Reprocell, we can help you resolve all of them so that you can focus on your science rather than trying to focus on where to get your samples from. Apart from the access to biospecimen, we also have a molecular biology lab. Um, we've been in the business of nucleic acid extraction for over 30 years. We can practically work with any biospecimen type, whether it's blood clots or whole blood, Buffy coats or FFPE, tissue samples or saliva. Um, for every type of biospecimen, we have custom developed and well optimized protocols. We have multiple quality control practices to ensure that you get good quality sample from your biospecimens. We also work with clinical trial samples and can handle a large quantity or large number of samples together. We also have genotyping and gene expression analysis possibilities, so we can work together with you to set up a specific protocol for your genotyping requirements or RT-PCR gene expression analysis requirements. So quickly summarizing, step up your precision medicine initiatives with Reprocell. If you're looking to build your patient cohorts, our biorepository can help. For genomic information extraction, our MolBio lab can help. And if you're looking to discover new targets and biomarkers, our genotyping, allelic discrimination services, and also next generation sequencing through our partner sites. We can help you through that as well. So reach out, and we are looking forward to working with you. Thank you for your attention, and I'm here for any questions that you might have. You can also reach out to us at a later time on the email addresses here, and also refer our website, which is very informative. And you can get details not only about our biospecimen access, but also about our drug discovery assays and iPSC disease models, gene editing services, etc. Thank you very much again.